Alright, speaking of hell yeah, it's that time of the year again. We're going to play some more DOS games. So, yeah, the first one that I'm going to cover is one that I actually wanted to play the last time that we did this, but I actually ran out of time. At this point, you probably are having an idea what it is just looking at the files that are available. But first, I need to just do a quick setup first. Okay, Sound Blaster. Okay, let's go. Let's type Vikings. So yeah, let's play the Lost Vikings. So yeah, they're still lost and there might be a little quiet. Hold on. But yeah, we can enjoy the marvel of the good old ad-lib synthesizer. But yeah, there's a reason why I decided to pick this game, because it turns out it's a pretty okay port of this game, but you're going to see it's got one hell of a freaking quirk going on with it that can definitely make it appealing to whoever has a whole bunch of hardware available. Like, I probably should let the sound effects or something play. Like, actually, yeah, fuck it. Let's just start the game in order to actually get us some sound effects going on. Like, this game was made for the SNES. There's also a Genesis version, which also came with additional levels. And then there's a version on the Blizzard Arcade, which actually decided to combine the visuals of the SNES with the extra levels of the Genesis. So, yeah. But yeah, let us play a new game. But yeah, unfortunately, however, one part of this game which is missing, the background. Like, no, this village is a little bit on the barren side here. But at the very least, music is still okay, given the fact that we're going from, like, the SNES sound chip to ad-lib. Like, I'm sorry, but no, adlib was not the best invention after sliced bread. But yeah, for people who've never played this game for some unknown reason, you control 3 Vikings and they go on wacky adventures, and they all have skills. Oh, this game was also like on the Amiga. Holy shit, I gotta check that now. Like, that's gonna be fascinating. And also, I'm gonna guess it comes with fucking horrible loading times, too. But yeah, this game is surprisingly well optimized, like I gotta say. Right now, the game is literally running at 286 or 386 speeds, and yet, look at that! Everything is actually pretty fluid. Like, I'm surprised this is running, like, on really, really bad hardware. Like, I don't know what kind of magic they did, but yeah, they did magic. That said, however, I think the game might be a tiny wee bit slower, because I think normally the music here is supposed to be like at some other place, and in the SNES demo, Olaf is supposed to get hit after he's gliding down for that dino, but at this point I'd say it might be because of the higher resolution. After all, on the SNES we had 256 by 224, and now we have a whole 320 pixels wide. It's widescreen, dude. But yeah, essentially that's it for this tiny little tutorial. Like, we're only gonna play like a couple of levels because, hey, I gotta highlight the twist of this particular port of the game. Yeah, the HUD is much chunkier. Like, yep. But yeah, sadly, there's a reason why there's missing sound effects here, by the way. And it's all gonna make sense in due time. Okay, but that's it. Now the game is starting to have a little bit more difficulty. Yeah, fuck it. Let's increase the cycles. Okay, so now what are the controls for this? Because, hey, Lost Vikings with the keyboard, it's a trip. Yep. S. Like, oh my god, why S? Like, I don't remember if I played this game on a Gravis gamepad or not, but I remembered I was sweating as fuck playing this with the... Yeah, press Control or Insert to switch characters. Like, yep, the controls continue being amazing. Okay, so now... Okay, how do I shoot arrows? Okay, so shooting arrows is D. Yep, there we go. Yep, what are we doing here? I don't know. Okay, still better loading times, I gotta say, like, hey. Yeah, at this point I need to, select an item, press tab, and press tab to exit. To use a selected item, press E. Okay. Oh, you look awfully happy. Yeah, control and insert. It's like... Oh, it's a janitor. How do I get out of here? Yeah, huh? Yeah, this is not a ship. And what's a computer? Yeah, you must find bombs to blow it up. At this point, I'm kind of surprised we even said, like, what the fuck is a bomb? But yeah, like... I know I'm repeating myself, but at some point we're gonna have to move on why this particular version of the game is otherwise pretty great. But first, I mean, we might as well just finish this level. At this point, I'm trying to not speak too much because we gotta actually take the time to hear everything that's around us, because this is gonna radically change in a few moments whenever we're gonna change some settings in the game. It's like, yeah, excellent elevator sound. Okay, so now, oh yeah, that's right, it's E in order to, yeah, use bomb on computer. Yep. Oh boy, that's fucking alert sound. Like, no, that's not the most convincing stuff I ever heard. Like, man, these are some weird sound effects. How could this be like this? Okay, now, whoops. Oh, that's right, it's S. Okay, I keep forgetting the controls to this game. Like, I don't know, S and D, it's like, no, there's some arcane magic going on into this. Yep. Oh my god, okay, this sound effect was absolutely magical. Like, But yeah, other than that, like, you can tell this is definitely the Lost Vikings, and if you can get used to the wonky control, the game is completely functional. It's all good stuff. And thank you with that said, however, thank you very much for the 63 month of sub. What will be good? Oh fuck, I got shot in the ass. Yep, good job me.
Howdy psych. Tonight's my last night in Montreal. Suppose I want to put up some special street art for francophones. What would be good neighborhoods to talk? I mean,
sadly, I can't say I am super knowledgeable in the arts of tagging and stuff like that. At this point, I'd say, hey, just go with whatever place seems like a good place. By the way, you did not hear that advice from me. Yeah, pixel art of Conrad Art PC. Oh god. Alright, TLPT. Okay, alright. We've seen enough for the time being. Oh god, yeah, the shores here are so fucking wide. Yep, that's what happens when your game is 256 pixels and then suddenly you have like something like 60 more pixels to fit. So yeah, that will be it for this game, but hey, we're going to be doing a little bit more things with this. So now let's run the setup and let's change the sound driver because it turns out we've got a lot of options available. And one of them is General MIDI, which means that if you have a synthesizer like of your own that's General MIDI compatible, you actually can use it in order to, run the game. So, yes, people might know I have a Roland Sound Canvas 8820, so we're going to be playing the game using this. And we're just going to see how much of a difference it's going to be. Yep, we definitely upgraded the sounds. So yeah, music definitely got a huge boost now. But hey, let's go with TLPT. Okay, now. But yeah, the sound effects are also changing. So, yep. Do you know what this means? This means this game does not come bundled with any sound effects whatsoever. This is actually, all the sound effects are completely rendered through MIDI. Which means that the game will sound completely different based on what MIDI device that you have. This, like, when I saw that, I was just like, okay, this is the weirdest and the most amazing thing I've ever seen. There we go, the sound of a teleporter. Yeah, it's like in order to have a teleporter, just make the sound of a harp. It's like the sound effects just sound so much more cleaner now that it's running on the SC55. It's like, hey, whoops. Oh yeah, like Space Quest 3 totally does that as well. But that said, I'm glad that the music just has these sounds like the Chuika sounds. Like that's the hallmark of any good game that uses General MIDI. There. Olaf can help Erik to jump higher by letting him stand on his shield. Oops. I mean, I probably will need to actually get the shield ready. It's like, I like the pickup sound with this device. It's like, it sounds so nice. Like, I'm kind of surprised they actually managed to get all of this. At this point, I figure they might be using, like, a sound effect patch or something in order to play these particular notes, but I don't know. I still think it's really, really neat. Yep. Boop. Yep. If I bash another another wall, my head will explode. Okay, I get to keep your helmet if you die. Oh yeah, that's what I'm... Also, this version of the game is where you... whoops. This version of the game is also where you start seeing... Hey, there's a... Wait, how do I get there? Like, is this a wall that I must destroy? No. Yeah, fuck it at this point. Alright, doing a drive-by to me! Oh, fuck! Okay, alright, whatever. And yeah, that's you pressing a button. Although I love the reverb on the sound effects too. Like, I feel like it makes everything come together. Like, no, for some reason, like, I just have an immense amount of adoration for... Oh yeah, that's right, the sound effect. Yeah, it's like... I don't know how we got from the first sound we had the other time to this, but hey, again, like, this is still nice. Yep. Also, that's the sound of a fool getting vanquished by a lightsaber. Okay. Like, I feel the only sound effects I don't like with this particular thing, like, is okay. So now do I? Oh yeah. And yeah, one of the few levels where you have to actually. Okay, this one. You know what? Okay. Ah, sorry. I keep forgetting that insert is the other key to go forward. This one, I'm just gonna shoot arrows every once in a while just to make sure that I kill with it. Ow, my ass. And yeah, the reason, of course, that we're doing all of that is because, hey, if we go too high, there's electricity. Also insert because, hey, it's the 90s! Also notice again the absence of a parallax background as well. Like, on the SNES and I dare say the Genesis version, like, there's the space going on in the background, but here you don't get it. Are you shy, guys? Sure we want to go in here? Oh, maybe it leads back home. Only one way to find out. Let's go. Yeah, that said, yeah, that screen does not look as good. Like, Mode 7 was definitely missed on this day. Yep, that was intense. What a ride! I think I'm going to be sick. Okay, so now... Oh yeah. I'm gonna have to note what the password was. Okay, Lamo. Okay. LLM0. Because, yeah, there's some more things that we can do as well, so... Sometime later, into an offline edition of The Lost Viking, I managed to get my Core Nautilus to actually output the game's audio. Let's see what's the end result. Oops, okay, it seems like it needs some help telling it that channel 10 is the drum channel. Even though this is a General MIDI device, for some reason, yeah, it doesn't understand this basic concept. But, yeah, once we get to it, everything works. And now we get to see the wonders of a synthesizer doing all of the noises. And by the way, that was never designed for that, so at this point, like, hey, you just make your own Lost Vikings, based on whatever General MIDI device that you have right now. And hey, for curiosity's sake, I decided to record a whole bunch of footage, so that you have some kind of idea as to how it is to play this with the synthesizer. But that said, however, you kind of have to babysit the synthesizer because I always have to tell it that channel 10 is the drum channel, but hey, at this point, this is literally a first world problem here. So yeah, let's go and pick up where we left off. We were in the prehistoric era, so let's just go there. Man, it's lame, oh! Even then, there's still a kind of a limit as to what you can do with General MIDI. It's obviously like not the best audio rendition of everything, but I still think it's kind of cool to hear. Alright, it's time to blow up things. Yeah, I kind of like the big boom here. And also, I swear that the graves exploding are just gunshot noises. Like, they literally pick the gunshot noise, patch into the MIDI settings, and then they just play a note really, really, really low. And yeah, by the way, just ignore the chat thing in the corner of the screen. Yours truly was a hairhead and forgot to remove it before recording. So, for big nerds who just want some technical detail about how this game outputs audio, there's 10 MIDI channels in total, and I swear that about all the effects just end up playing into channel 9. They just switch channels on the fly in order to play some random notes with a certain patch in order to mimic the sound effects it's supposed to play, and after that it goes back to whatever instrument is supposed to be playing. One thing is certain, however, with some, no matter what the synthesizer is, some sound effects will never be better. Majestic. Like, the sound effects of literally a dinosaur chomping you is literally just like, I don't know, some sort of car part just trying to kickstart desperately, but hey, that's how it's gonna be no matter what sound device you have if you play the Lost Viking for DOS. I swear nowadays the only reason to play this game is literally like, hey, you have some synthesizer into your garage that's collecting dust and is General MIDI compatible. Alright, just go and check out how the game will sound with it. The world is your oyster and you can do whatever. So yeah, we're gonna go everywhere in the world, and once again, the drum part went missing. Hold on while I fiddle with the synth. Yeah, that's a little bit of an improvement. So yeah, for people who don't understand why the piano sounds like that, well, that's how MIDI drum work. Essentially, you play notes at a certain pitch and it's gonna play a certain drum note. So, therefore, if you pick anything except drums, it just sounds like complete garbage. And now we're introducing the Pan Flute Scorpion. Like, these are deadly beasts. You cannot trust them no matter what, because they're gonna whistle at you with their deadly poison and lullabies coming out of their pipe hole. But yeah, one thing which always confused me with this game is that this game does not use any MIDI past the 10 channels, and this is kind of weird considering that, well, you know, it just ends up replacing whatever is in channel 9 to play whatever it is, but yeah, this is where I'm glad that I invested in this synthesizer. The water sound is magnificent. A pity that we cannot stay on the side of the beach, but now we have a factory level to go at. And yeah, at this point, the SNES version is literally the outlier, because this is literally the only version of the game that ends up using a different music. Like, it uses another sound effect, the one that's... and yeah, by the way, that was just me trying to give myself a heart attack. Me fiddling with the shield just under the big pounder, just so that I can become a big flat Viking instead of a big fat Viking. So yeah, just talking about the game again a little bit, because at this point I barely even talked about it. For people who are not in the know, like, you have these 3 Vikings that need to combine their abilities in order to go to the exit, get items, swap things, fight monsters, all of that sort of stuff. Like, at this point, I figure it was more important to talk about the... Oh, yeah. Yeah, by the way, you breaking your bone is literally just the swoosh of a towel, by the way. Remember what your synthesizer brothers have taught you. But yeah, in general, I'd say the factory is probably the area of the game that I like the least, just because the monsters in it are so freaking annoying. Like, all of the monsters in this world have some sort of quirk that literally makes them really annoying to deal with. The boss saw you cannot block them with Olaf's shield because they just saw through it altogether. There's the flying thing which just sprays shit everywhere. And finally, there's robots that are invincible to regular arrows, so you either have to use bombs or you have to bash them with Eric's heads, and personally I'd say that's not fun. So yep, that's why I typically don't like the factory area of the game. Also, I feel like that this level kind of loves to waste your time with all of these giant vents that you don't really know where they go at all, but yet about everybody needs to go through them, except Olaf, because he's kind of completely redundant. There's nothing but saw blades over here, so therefore you can't really block anything. And finally, if you go down here with any character other than the character who knows how to jump, you're not getting out of this pit alive. Like, I was thinking maybe of doing a let's play of this game at some point, but I feel like, I don't know, it's one of those games I feel like it's more fun to play than it is to actually do a let's play of it. And yeah, this is something that I kind of ended up learning the hard way throughout the years whenever I did stuff. Like, for instance, Blackthorn. Now, wasn't that a fun LP? No, it wasn't. It's shit. Once you have the red key, the rest of this level is essentially just, you know, an avoidance course. You need to be able to actually walk all the way back to the other place here in order for the final Viking to be here, because every other Viking than Erik The Swift is not swift and also have fragile legs. But yeah, the end of the level is just an action course. After that, you stop the big piston here. You have to dodge a little piston. You cannot use Olaf's shield for them because they're conveyor belts, and therefore you can't really keep him under the things per se. Unless, of course, you're playing the game at 2 players, because that's totally a thing that exists, by the way. I don't remember if this version of the game is 2 players or not. Like, at this point, it might just be the biggest mystery. Also, hello, this is Future Psych here. By the way, this game does not have 2-player mode. I mean, on the Genesis and the SNES and everything, there is 2 players, but not on the PC. You have to slug it all alone. At this point, I'm just wondering if they just couldn't figure out how to, you know, have support for, like, either the keyboard or, like, joysticks. Like, I don't even think this game has joystick support now that I'm thinking about it. Like, this might be again a big mystery. So now the final new world that we have yet to see, the Wacky World or the Wonderland. Yeah, I just like the bell sound that these note spitters do. Also, yep, now it's time to introduce even more keys to the mix. Now we have to use F in order to deflate. I mean, hey, I guess it works, but at this point, you're making it so that remembering how to play this game can become quite the task. Again, like, why are the keys for switching characters Control and Insert? Like, they're so far apart from each other. That's not how ergonomy works, Blizzard. Yep, I called you Blizzard because that's totally who you are, not Silicon Synapse. Yeah, this is one of the earlier games, by the way, not the first. As far as I can remember, the first game that Blizzard ever did was RPM Racing, a really bad racing game that decided, hey, we're gonna make the whole game using the low-color 512 by 448 high-resolution mode. And this is why everything in the game looks extremely washed out and ugly. Yeah, I mean, at this point we're talking about other games, but I don't really know what else to talk about. Like, I'd say Lost Viking is one of those games that's pretty self-explanatory. Maybe at this point we should just enjoy the ride and just soak in the music and the sound effects. beware because there sure are a whole lot of spikes around here. So this is why typically sending Olaf whenever you need to float up is definitely the big good idea, because then you have complete control over everything that you do. Because, hey, who cares about fall damage whenever this notion does not exist? But yeah, some of these areas are going to be a little bit more difficult whenever we're going to have a Viking that does not know how to jump or float or anything. I'm talking about you, Baleog. Don't be the ignoramus that ignores the person that's speaking, that doesn't even can acknowledge that exists or whatever. At this point, yeah, this is becoming all existential nightmare. And don't mind me, I'm just always mistaking my buttons. Because again, control and insert, what the heck? Like, I feel like tab already will make more sense in order to switch characters, but unfortunately tab is the key in order to go to the inventory, so therefore, yep, no character switching here. And yeah, by the way, the flames do not do any background sounds. They literally could not afford to do it into this. Like, we have to call the sound effects whenever a certain event occurs. We cannot have, like, ambient sounds playing in the background. Also, that sound effect whenever you strike things with the sword, I feel like it will work better, like, you know, if your character used a club. Now and then that will be entirely, you know, that will fit perfectly well, because it makes such a giant thud, like it's literally a high thud at this point. Or low tom, or however you call it. I mean, Tom is feeling pretty low nowadays. Just say hi to him if you see him. By the way, who's Tom? And yeah, that bomb is mandatory because you cannot destroy this wall with Erik said, because you don't have enough of a leeway in order to start running and bash this with your head. So therefore, there's only one way forward in order to get that final key. Oh boy! Yeah, this is why having a shield sometime is very helpful, because then it helps you go to places that you have no idea where you're going at. And finally, the final big challenge of this level, get everybody up here. Again, considering how everybody else is kind of vertically challenged for the most part, especially Baleog, that could be a little bit of a challenge, but thankfully, we can fly! And finally I can club thing. Okay, what the fuck is this voice? I have no clue why Baleog sounds this way now, but hey, I guess that's how he is now. So, yep, if you see him, just point at him. It's like, yeah, even then I could not even properly time the deflate in order to not take any damage. But yeah, essentially we went through all of the little areas in the game. We've had a little bit of an idea how it all sounds and look. It all looks very basic, but I'd say the synth fuckery alone makes this a very interesting specimen for MS-DOS. So yeah, that was The Lost Viking. Thank you for watching.